You finally save up some money and you're ready to buy a used iPhone. When you browse in the marketplace, you'll get tons of good deals and some other bad deals. And much worse, you can get scammed. So in this video, I'll give you some useful tips when buying a second-hand iPhone, so you can avoid getting scammed. Alright, so first thing that we need to check is the exterior quality of the phone. Check how the screen looks, make sure that there's no lifted part on the screen, and check the camera as well if there's any cracks or it's been damaged. Next is to check the physical buttons. We want to make sure that they're all working properly and inspect all of that. The speakers, check how dirty it is. When you check on the mute switch, it should vibrate. You also want to check that there's no one signed in with their Apple ID, because if there is, then you may have to ask them to remove it. But if they're having some trouble or problem removing it, then you can't buy this iPhone. Okay? So before buying anything, make sure that there is no Apple ID signed in. And since that you're checking this phone and you might buy it at the end of the deal, you may want to register the Face ID now, because we want to make sure that that is working and the unit should be responsive in reading your face. Okay, so the second thing that you need to check is the battery. You want to check the battery health of the iPhone, because a good battery health is at 85%. Above that, I got mine at around 88% or 89%. And at the time of the recording of this video, it's at 82%. So that's perfectly fine. But never use or buy a used iPhone with 100% battery life, especially sa mga older models. Because this type of phones are already boosted. So they're just boosting up the battery health to get you to buy their unit. So it's like a marketing strategy to scam you, tricking you that this phone is still 100% battery. And you will also see a message on this part if you need to replace the battery of the iPhone. Alright, so moving on to the screen now, we want to know if the screen is working properly. You can test it by holding an app, by just holding and dragging it all over the screen. Make sure that the app is still intact when you test on all sides. An additional thing here is that you can also check if the screen has been replaced if there's an important message showing on the About section. Another aspect here as well is that if the True Tone is not working or not working properly, then possibly that the screen has been replaced. So the next thing that we need to check on the device is the model number. So we can know if it's bought brand new or refurbished. Just check the first letter of the model number. So this should show M, and the last letter is the country of origin of the device. So there are different types of on the first letter of the model number. I'll put it here on the screen. So M is basically, this was bought brand new from Apple. So mine was bought brand new and the country of origin is Canada. But if you want to know more details about this, I'll put a link in the description below. You can also check the SIM restriction in this setting. If it indicates that there is no SIM restriction, then you should be able to use different SIM. So it would be much better if you can bring your own SIM card and make a phone call. When you're making a phone call, make sure put it on a speaker so you can hear if the speakers are working as well. You can also cover the sensor by using your hand or finger to know if the sensor is working. So it should switch off when the sensor is covered. We also want to test the connections of the device, so like the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, and hotspot. So bring a wireless Bluetooth device like an earphone and connect it using the Bluetooth just to make sure that everything is working. Once your SIM card is injected on the phone, then you can try to connect to a mobile data connection and try the Wi-Fi if it's working and connecting. And finally, of course, the most important part is the camera. This is the beauty of every smartphone. We want to check this as much as possible. We need to take time on this because we use this in our daily lives to capture good memories. So just to make sure that check every modes of the iPhone camera, front and back, take a photo or record a video and see if that's all normal, and if it's good, then I think that you should like this video because YouTube will show this to more awesome people just like you. Alright, so if that's all good now, then I think that you should get this iPhone. Alright, so that's pretty much it. You can avoid the hassle of buying a used iPhone in the marketplace by following the simple tips, and I hope that you find it useful. Please subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video.